Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to make my screen a little bit bigger. Come on down here. So let me know if you're here. Just getting set up. And see what I can see. There I am. Thank you for joining. Hello, Sharon and Kathleen. Welcome. Hey, Brianna. All right. Still kind of getting used to all this setup stuff, which is surprising, but now I have to remember that I'll be posting these on Facebook. So remember, this video is only going to last here for 30 days, but then I will be uploading it to YouTube. So I did get my notice, and I think all of my videos are going away by July. So I have to go through and see what I want to download. But again, as a reminder, if you know of a video that I've done, a technique, you know what? And this also goes back to like our virtuals. So if there's something on the virtuals that you remember, for those that have participated on past virtuals, I have to go back and upload those into my YouTube channel. So let me know. All right, what do we got here? Hello, Heidi and Patrice. Welcome. Krista, welcome. And Colleen. All right, so before I get started, I have a card class, and I'm going to be upfront. I had to pivot. I wanted to use something totally different, and it just was not working out. Have you ever had those moments where just things were not connecting? So I had to pivot and do something else with a different project that I will be sharing soon. Okay, so here is, I announced this earlier, this is a card workshop. So let me just show you, they're all interactive cards, but look at this. So this stamp set is playing in the yard, and super cute. Flip up, and then here, these all highlight different 6x6 paper. So I believe this is the In Color 6x6 paper suite. This is the Thoughtful Journey paper. So this is a see-through card. And again, this I showed last week, so as a reminder, make sure you post your spring and or Easter card. It also can be a layout. If you're not planning on doing this template and you're more of a scrapbooker, please post something that you recently created for spring and or Easter. But here is this fun card. And then here, this is the bokeh paper. I believe this is also from the In Color 6x6 paper. But here, again, a cute little fox with the bokeh paper. So that's the one side, and that's the back side of it. So to get this card workshop, place a $30 order with, I believe it's a $30 order. It could be $35 order. I think it's a $30 order, and then you will get the pre-cut cards. So in your order has to include the playful stamp set. You could pretty much fussy cut all of these, but there is a coordinating die set that also goes with the stamp set. But all I am looking for is for the playful stamp set with a $30 order. So hope you like those cards. And I shared with you guys a few weeks back scrapbook layouts, the templates that I started. Well, they are finished. And here, hopefully, let's see if we can get this all in. Have to size it down a little bit, I think. A little bit more. All right. Let's see if we can see this in here. I have a little bit of delay on my side. I'm bringing that over. Okay, yep. I'll zoom it in for when we do the card again. But here again is the scrapbook layout. This is using I just had it written down. and I have it over to do my workshop. But this is Lovely Garden, or no, I don't think that's it. I'll make sure everything will be written in the descriptions for what when I post this. This will be marketing tomorrow. I'll post this on the page tomorrow. What you'll also need are the memory picture. We call them Picture My Life, but they're Memory and More cards. And they also have additional ephemera that will go here. And then the stencil will be optional for you if you wanted to add a stencil, whatever stencil you have coordinating. I can share the one that I used, but that's, again, totally up to you for this. And here's that one. And then here is the second layout. And like I did with the Ocean Friends, I created die cuts. So I will pre-cut these and get those to you in the mail. All of the Ocean Friends, you should have, those who have purchased that workshop should have received by now, or will be within the next day or two, their die cuts. But I will be sharing these die cuts with you. And the cutting and assembly instructions. So you'll just need to get the paper pack. There's 3 items that you'll need for this workshop. The paper pack, these Memory and More, and you'll have so many more, so many more, to be able to create cards or add to additional layouts. The same with the ephemera. You're going to have tons of that. If you remember the scrapbooking or card making, National Card Making Day, Stampin' Up! Did one back in May, and they used the ephemera and showed how to make many, many cards. Well, that's one of the packs that I used. And this actually goes really, really well with the new paper pack, the Designer Series paper that just came out on March 4th, the lovely Garden DSP. So that will be able to use for more and more projects if you choose to get the lovely Garden paper. It goes perfect with it, that ephemera. But again, I will give this, and it's with a purchase of $40 on my website. And again, you'll need to truly complete this. I believe you can come up with the other things, like the glitter paper that can get replaced with other glitter paper that you have in your stash or cardstock. But everything here, I'll have the assembly instructions for you with the 3 items that I mentioned that you'll need to complete the layouts. So I hope you like those, had fun creating them, but let's get started in our project. I'll just put these away, and I'll have these at my upcoming events. You can see them in person. They're so much better in person. All right, let me go back in and zoom. Whoa. Is that too close now? Maybe. My camera seems a little bit crooked up here, up on my stand. So, okay. This is what we're making. So tonight is a card. I give my team challenges of templates. So this month, this is the card template. So it's a Diagonal Tri-fold card. So we are going to be using the Lovely Garden Designer Series paper for this. I'm also using the Thankful Garden masks, which I'll create that for you as well. And then there is the Thoughtful Journey, I believe that's what it's called, the Thoughtful Journey dies that we're going to do. And I'm going to show again how to do this. If you can see that up close, that shimmer, there you go. You can see that shine. So we're going to do this with the masking tape. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. But I love this die set because there's so many different sentiments on there. So let's get started. Pulling out my pieces here. So again, this is the stamp set with the die cuts that I'll be using. Here's the Thoughtful Journey dies. This is a 3D embossed. So this is a hybrid. They call it a hybrid. So it comes with the embossing folder along with the dies. And I actually, you'll see here, here's another sample of the hello. And I did one without, and I did it in lighter colors. So I did the card in the Petunia Pop, but this is the Fresh Freesia, I believe. But look at all of the different sentiments that cut out. I just put a 6x6 piece of paper in there and cut out all of these different sentiments. So now I have them in this color to create many, many other cards with that. And the card that I'm going to show you tonight is super easy. I will have all the instructions on the post for you, so you'll be able to recreate this card, because that's what your creative activity is going to be. I'm just setting that aside. And let me get my pieces of paper. So again, here is this designer series paper. I know I show this, but I'm just going to give you a quick glance. So you get 6 sheets, 2 of each design. Again, this is the lovely Garden DSP, and I'm going to flip it over, and you have more color to choose from and more designs to choose from. And I love the fact that they're all not hero. They have some subtle paper to use for other things. All right, so that is the paper. All right, so some tips and tricks I'm gonna share with you. My card base is starting out at, hold on one second, on the table. My card base, sorry about that. My card base is at 6.5 by 9 3/4, and we're going to have to score that. So let's score that now and get that out of the way. We are scoring it at 3 1/4 and 6.5. So I have that here. So here's 3 1/4. And then I am bringing it down to the bottom here, and it's 6.5. But you probably won't be able to see that because I am too close in. But I have scored it twice, and then I'm going to show you how to cut that, but we're going to cut that afterwards. Let's get the stenciling part done first. And I have all of my different pieces here. I will definitely share those with you. I am initially, the first time I stenciled this, I did not stamp it. I just used the stencil, which looks perfectly fine. But this time I am stamping it, and I'm using the black Memento Tuxedo. Okay. Just gonna press that down. And take my chamois and clean it off. Cleans really nice. And I'm just going to set that aside for now. And then let's get the stenciling done. So my stencils here, again, are the Thankful Garden. And there are 2 different stencils. So these are the hydrangeas. And then I believe the other one is a poppy. And I actually was going to plan on playing with a poppy. But again, I had to pivot and change the direction I was going in. So I'm sticking with the same exact card. I'm just going to duplicate it. So here are the leaves. We'll do those last. So another demonstrator shared this tip, and I wanted to share it with you guys as well. To line this up, I have not have this right. Oh, I do have it right. And it's tilted. See how that's tilted? So I stamped this thinking straight, but you can see here's the notch. Now I can, if I want to, try to line it up and putting a pencil mark. And again, this is my scrap paper that I am going to, but I've also just put some black marker on the tips of those leaves so that when I line up the other layers, I will know that I am getting it in the right position. So the colors that I used are Fresh Freesia and Petunia Pop. I am going to go with the lighter first, the Fresh Freesia. And I always, when I am masking or stenciling, we are used to calling it stenciling, but they call these masks. So if you're ever looking for it online, they're called masks. But I'm going to take this off here, and I am going to go heavier in some spots. Heavier meaning I'm pressing harder and it'll be a darker ink. Just in a few areas. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to do it lighter. I'm going to actually bring this in a little bit even closer so you guys can see better. If I get off of the screen, let me know, because I know I have a tendency to do that, but I just wanted to. So again, I'm just going lighter, and then I'm going to highlight those other few spots. And this just kind of gives it more variable color. And that's what flowers are, right? When the lighting hits it, it shows up differently. I'm going to continue to use this one. But, all right, so let me just clean this off. And because I'm going to be using it again, I just have my towel here. And here is 2. So again, I did this on, so this I moved, so that's my fault that this isn't lining up. But again, I have marked my leaves, the tips of my leaves, so I know I am pretty much lined up, and you can see it here. You can see the black lines there. Okay, so this is second stencil, and I'm going to actually, again, use the Fresh Freesia. And yep. So those areas that still are showing through from the first stencil will get a little bit darker. And the other ones, well, it's just highlighting certain portions of the petals on the hydrangea. How gorgeous is that? All right, let me again clean this off. These wash really, really well. I'm just doing a light cleaning of them, but I will go and wash them in the sink to give them a better cleaning. And this is the last section here. Again, I lined those up. It was a great tip that she shared. And I am going to use the Petunia Pop now. I'm only doing the 2 colors. You can do 3 colors if you want. Choose 3 different. But this time I only used, last time I did 3 colors. Okay. So let me get my, I'm starting to label these and trying to convert some of the ones that I had from Close to My Heart and the colors, and then just gonna label those and convert those. But okay, here is the 3rd layer for the card, and these are all numbered. So there's 1, 2, and there's 3. I'll bring it up closer so you guys can see that they're numbered, so you know what order to put them in. Oh, just moved a little bit, but that's not going to be a big deal. Look how gorgeous that is. All right, and again, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. And I'm going to bring back this original layer here, because I want the background to be, there's some that doesn't look as dark. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I want to just bring and add a little bit more color. So I'm going to open up that fresh freesia. I think I'm saying that correctly. All right, make sure I have that. And again, just lining up with, all right, just going over, just giving it a little bit more color. There we go. All right, so now let's do the leaves. And for the leaves, I am using Garden Green and Granny Apple. And there's only 2 layers for the leaves. And again, now we know that I have it pre-stamped, so this is pretty easy to line up, right? I am going to start out with the Granny Apple. Oh, wrong way. And I always go off because you see that splotch there? That just prevents it from getting blotchy here, right? So let's... And now I'm just going to go, as you can see, I went like on the tips a little bit darker, on the stem a little bit, and then the other is lighter. And if I want to come in and fill more in, I will afterwards. Again, I'm die cutting this, so I don't care that I got on this piece of paper because I'm die cutting it. If I was using this directly on the card, then yeah, that would matter. So I'd have to be a little bit more careful. So what do you guys think? Is it nice or what? All right, so here is my second layer here. And again, just lining this up. All right, and I'm going to use the Garden Green now. I'm just leaving that open temporarily in case I want to come back and add a little bit more of the Granny Apple. Here is the Garden Green. And this is kind of given a detail. So this is the detail part of the mask. So here we go. I think I am going to come back and do it, but I don't know if I'll add any more. Let's see what I have here on the Granny Apple. I think that's perfect. Okay, so let's close up these ink pads. We are done inking. So before we get into the assembly of the cards, let's get our die cutting done next. So let me grab this up here. So let's show you this here. And I'm going to have to bring this out again. So sorry if I'm making you dizzy by going back and forth with this. I'm going to get my brushes out of the way. Here, the ink. Okay. So this is the Stampin' Up! Die cutting machine. Let me turn it around so I can have the handle easy. So to do the hybrid, using the Stampin' Up! Die cutting machine, all you need is base number 1 and base number 4, and you're going to sandwich it in between. Now, I took a piece of cardstock, so this is the Petunia Pop, and I just took the tape, heavy duty, I have heavy duty tape here for packaging, and I just added some of it. Can you see that there? You see the glow there? So I'm not doing the entire sheet this time, but what do I want? So my originally card here says hello. Do I want to say hello on here? Maybe we'll do you make me happy. So many decisions. Or maybe we'll do celebrate. Let's do celebrate. So again, I'm lining this up on the left side of the plate. It kind of fits in there snug. Then my paper, I am putting over here, and I'm going to close this up with that in place. I'm going to run this through. This is my closed end of my embossing folder, the hybrid embossing folder. So that is the end that I want to always run through instead of the opened end. And I'm just going to run this through and hold it down. It's a little bit tight, but not too bad. I'm on a slippery surface, so that's making it tougher for me. Almost there. Good. Bam. All right, here we go. Actually got some extra ones out. Some of them have the tape on them and some of them don't. But here is the celebrate. So can you see that? Shimmery on there. So this kind of replaces liquid glass, right? So at any time that you wanted to run something or put something through and having that shine and shimmer and not having to wait for it to dry, this packing tape is a great opportunity to make that happen. And look at it's automatically dry already. So let's set that aside. Here are some of the other words that were done. Get well, just because. Oh, we could do just because if we want to. Those were in there. But again, a fun hybrid. Let's get rid of that. Let me get my masking tapes over here. And now I'm going to run through this that we just colored. So for that, we need your plate 1, plate 2, and we're sandwiching it between plates 3 with that die cut. So again, I repackaged this in the flatter envelopes and take my dies out here. And line this up, and I will put tape down. I'm hoping that, because I don't think they have one, but I hope they come out with a magnetic board for this machine, because that would be helpful. Not that I used it often with the other ones, but it sometimes is helpful, especially when you want to run multiple things through at the same time. All right, so let's do the sandwich and run this through. And there we go. Voila. How pretty is that? Okay, so now let's get the card assembled. I'll give you those instructions. Let's get this out of the way. Put that over there so I don't lose it, because you know me, I will be losing things. Okay, so again, this is 6.5 by 9 3/4, and then we scored it at 3 1/4 and 6.5. Then what we're going to do is we're going to cut, but we'll need to mark this. So I have a handy dandy ruler that Minnie got at my last retreat. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. So I am going to mark this at 2 inches. And I'm going to take my paper trimmer and I am going to run this at this score line from here to there to make it an angle. Now, if you are using two-toned cardstock, you're going to want to make sure that you fold this the way that you want for your, for what layers you want. So again, here is that last. So I put the two inch mark down here at the bottom on the left side, and I'm going to line it up with that last score line. And this is my cutter here, and I'm just going to put it right down. And now I have this scrap piece of paper. We are going to fold it in the tri-fold. All right, do I need to go in closer? Let me know, guys, if I do. Okay, so now I cut 3 pieces of paper, and I pre-cut, or 4 pieces of paper, and I pre-cut this, but, so I'll give you those dimensions, but you'd use that same marking of 2 inches. So this piece here, which is gonna go on my inside, this is cut at 3 by 6 1/4. So you can see that I have 1/4 of an inch around all the sides. So this one doesn't need any additional angle cutting at all. All right, and then here, I do have a little bit of a pencil mark here, so let me see if I can find my little eraser here. I do have it. So again, so this piece and this piece here, which is going to be on the opposite side, this was cut at 3 by 6, and then I marked it down by 2 inches, and then again did the angle from the top of the 6 inches down, and have that, and it folds right in there. Oh, you know what, before that, I'm gonna have to probably trim some of this off because it's a little bit bigger here. So before I do that, I have my hair falling out on all of you. All right, so I am just going to place that here. Just a little bit angled, and all I have to do is just trim a little bit of this off here. Just cut a little bit of that leaf off, no biggie. Still getting the beautiful flower that's going to be inside. and I could put my sentiment in there. I can actually add another piece of white here to add sentiments, or I could put something and just write something on the back here. And this is like a slim line, a little bit smaller than a slim line, but I most likely will be sending this out just using a regular envelope. I do have some slimline envelopes, so I will probably send it out in a slimline. Okay, so then here, the only difference here is you have to make sure when you're cutting what side you are going to be cutting that angle from. That is the trickiest part, and it really isn't that tricky at all. But that's going to go inside here. Isn't this paper so pretty? Perfect for those individuals who love gardening too and grow and share pictures of their garden. I love hydrangeas, but in Florida we can't grow them because unless I wanted to dig up the bulbs and freeze them. But that was one of my first plants somebody sent me as a housewarming when we moved. And unfortunately, I couldn't keep it. All right, so here is my last piece. And I must have cut this, either that or I grabbed the wrong one. So I'm gonna have to trim this down a little bit. Because it is a little bit longer. And I must have mismeasured that. I will make sure you have the right measurements, but here, again, how pretty is that? So, again, your creative session this time, unless you can figure out a scrapbook template using this design, your workshop or your creative session, to have a chance to win Happy Mail will need to be this card template. And again, this is something that I've created I shared with my team. So giving my team some suggestions and ideas for templates. So that we have a scrapbooking one too, so I will be working on that. I think I might be highlighting my little teddy in that scrapbooking workshop. So, all right. So now we did the celebrate. So I am just gonna put the celebrate here. Let's get some foam dimensionals. I'm going to pop that up. Use every bit of these dimensionals, right? I don't think I'm alone. Everybody cuts them up. And then also I do want to put inside on the hydrangeas a little bit of sparkle. Add a little bit of sparkle to that. All right, so here we go with the celebrate in its glossiness, right? All right, so let's take my little sparkles here, and I'm gonna take the bitty ones, and I'm just gonna put them in some of the larger flowers there. I'm better off with my no nails doing it. All right, how is that pretty little sparkle? All right. I have a great variety of adhesive backed gems and dots. Okay, I think I'll put one more right there. And there we go. Some nice little bling, right? So again, a very fun fold and the mini slimline. So again, I will provide all of the measurements. I know I mentioned them to you, but I will post those all. You'll see this probably tomorrow on the page. And then again, as a reminder, and if you are watching this during this week of March 5th. You have 1 week, March 6th, right? Today is March 6th. So you have 1 week to create it and post it into my Scrap and Roll Facebook group. So if you're watching this on YouTube, come on over to the Scrap and Roll page and join us and share your inspiration. You can use any product that you have to share. It's this week, it's just using this design and this template. And then if you're already in this group, obviously, I will be posting it under guides. So you'll see the video. You can go to video, but it's also listed under guides, and that's where, and you have 1 week. 1 week at midnight Eastern time. Next, so today's the 6th. 13th, I think it is, the 13th. And as a reminder, I will not be doing a live session. I might be doing a recorded video. I just have to see what time offers me this week coming up. Or I'll just be doing a creative activity, kind of like I did. I'll throw something out from a challenge standpoint and share that with you. Or maybe I'll give you guys my scrapbook template, and then I will do a video following up with that. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. But again, I hope you like both of these options, cards. And again, I can't wait to see what you share. Bye, everyone. Have a great night.